Hey, we got the struggle stream going already. Oh, we got to bring that down. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you.
Of
Welcome
course.
to the King and Me show. I am me. Now, I'm King.
And I'm me, Michelle. Hey, y'all.
Hey, but I am me, though, really, when you think
me.
about it.
Yeah.
I am me and you are me.
Yes.
And we are we?
We?
Yeah.
That
Yeah. All right, y'all. Hey, we're crossing our fingers that this isn't a struggle stream. The internet has been acting up, so pardon us here while we do some check-ins to see how things is looking on the backside. Yeah,
It looks.
it's bad. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, this is gonna. You know what? Oh, so we have a choice to make. We can get through this.
We're going to get through it.
The presentation's not going to be the best, but let me mute while I hear what the audio is sounding like. No,
go ahead.
Okay. All right, look, the audio's working, so we're just going to get through this and figure out how we can get this internet fixed. Hey, Comcast. You know what? It could be me. I ain't even going to blame Comcast. We'll fix it. Okay. So pardon the quality of the live stream video, but you can hear us. So just set the phone down. Don't look. Set the phone down.
Put the phone down and listen.
Because y'all need to see this blackness in HD.
Y'all remember when you were younger? Because I know this happened to you. So you remember when you were younger and your parents used to say, look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yeah.
Well, this time I want you to listen with your ears, not with your eyes. You don't need your eyes for this. Like, I mean, we're still going to be as gorgeous as we were last week. Like,
yes.
That hasn't changed. So just listen with your ears. You don't necessarily have to look.
Ooh, okay. I like your nails. Is that from the last one? Oh, see, they look good still.
I know. So. I always ask King before I get my nails done, like what color he suggests, and he suggested kind of like a pinkish color to kind of match my fit. And when I tell you, like I'm not a pink person. I'm not that level of girly, even though I do get my nails done. But when I saw this on my nails, I was like, I feel pretty.
Yep, and y'all see how much I pay attention? Because I knew she did it, but I thought they may have been a different color since the last time. But I was still just as like, ooh, those look good as the first time. So, yeah.
That means I'm just as captivating now as, like that's not a word, I'm going to say it. I recaptivate you every single time you see me.
It seems like it should be a word. Recaptivate.
Okay. Sure.
Like engage and re-engage. Yeah. You captivate, so then you can recaptivate.
Whatever.
All right. So, what is the King and Me show? The King and Me show is the brainchild of both of us as we are approaching 1 year of knowing each other. All right. Not necessarily. And then we're inching closer to that 1 year of dating. But we wanted to share.
Quick question. When was the 1 year of us knowing each other?
August the 5th? August the 6th? Yes, August the 6th. I remember it was after my birthday.
Which is on Friday, y'all. His birthday is on Friday.
I will be 39 August the 4th, and we met 2 days after my birthday at a mutual friend's house. Shout out to Ellie. She watches our show.
Yeah. Hey, Allie. Thank you.
And we decided to share our journey as we're getting to know each other still. We're getting to learn each other. And if you listen to certain content creators and just people in general, you would almost think that all relationships and dating and that whole phase is trash, which I kind of agree. I would say some. Do I got more gray hairs?
Yes, there's a gray hair right here. Y'all, first of all, I have ADHD. Second of all, he got a haircut today, and it's like all this handsomeness could not be contained. So I'm sitting here and I'm just like admiring the handsomeness. And then I see a gray hair. We love gray hairs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We welcome the gray hairs. They're not coming at the rate that we would like them to come. So when we see them in one another, we point them out.
Yes, bring me the grays. I can't wait for all the salt and pepperness to pop up in here. All right. So, hey, look, again, if you're just tuning in, Forgive the video quality. The audio quality is good, and that's what we are going to rock with today. All right. So what's our actually, before we get into all of that, we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
If there's a like button to be hit that like button. All right. And as we talk, or if you have any ideas or any questions that you want to ask, put it in the comment section. We'll be as hot as we can, which is what?
Honest, open, and transparent. I'm sorry. So you said hot, and my mind went to an Aaliyah song. Hot like
fire. Yeah.
Sorry, and then I was singing it in my head, and then you started looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably supposed to do something, but in my head, I'm still singing the song.
Squirrel.
That's my bad.
Moments.
That's my bad. I'm so.
It's all good. So yes, we believe in being hot, honest, open, and transparent. Shout out to the real Precious, who's going to be going live here at 9:00, and I might not be on her live show. I'll tell you about that afterwards.
Okay, I understand.
Our topic for today, lead us off, and then I'll finish it up.
So we've talked about this before, and we kind of, mentioned it, whether on his channel for various reasons or on here, but King is divorced. Like, he's been divorced for 4 years. 4 years.
That's right, yeah.
And I have never been married before. So we kind of wanted to talk about what that's like, the elements of a single, never been married, no kids, dating someone who is divorced with one child. Like, what that kind of looks like. Because again, we want to be able to offer you all advice that you can take and apply to relationships that you may be in and things that you may be doing. So that's where we're coming from for today. So today's title is single, divorce, and then some really fancy thing underneath of it. Oh, can they work or something like that? Something like that. So we're going to talk to y'all about that today, okay? So tune in, enjoy. I don't have my glasses on, so
I got you, man.
Okay, I was about to say.
I got you. So when we met, again, it was a bit of a setup, and I'm not a fan of setups. But our mutual friend was having a game night and said, "Hey, if there's somebody there that's coming to meet you, or that would be interested in meeting
you."
That's
how she said it to you?
Well, yeah, but like that. And I told her straight up, I said, "I don't do setups." Just like that. I don't do setups.
Okay.
I said, "I will come for a game night. I don't do setups."
Okay.
And then she was like, "Well, she's a nice woman and all this." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't care. I don't do setups. I'm not a fan of them. No. All right. But curiosity got the best of me. All right. So, because initially I told her, I said, I don't even want to know what she looks like because I don't do setups. But she does content as well. So
I feel like your shirt is so appropriate. Like, I don't do setups. Yeah, no.
Oh, hey, this is a perfect shirt to wear today. I did not plan this. But she does content. So I was able to find out what she looked like, first of all, which is, look, attraction matters.
He Googled your girl.
Let's not front. Attraction matters. And then 2, I was able to learn from reading about her website, godhappenedtome.com, that, hold on, I can't really see it.
Zoom in on me.
I can't do it quickly.
Okay,
we're gonna have to lean. I don't know. Yeah.
Zoom in on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
going across the boobage.
It says it. Godhappenedtome.com.
Godhappenedtome.
And I understood that she was never married and didn't have kids.
None of them. No pitneys.
Now, men out there, let's be honest. Okay, if you see a
beautiful, why are you laughing?
Okay,
wait a minute. Why are you laughing?
I wasn't gonna lead with that.
I would.
I'm not going to say your age.
You didn't say my age.
Okay.
I'm proud of my age. At the time that you met me, I was 35. I was literally 28 days away from 36.
Okay, so if you see a 35, 36-year-old lady,
gorgeous,
who's never been married,
gorgeous,
with no kids,
gorgeous,
what are y'all's first thoughts? I'm just going to ask that, just plain as day. What are your first thoughts? Okay, literally, I'll tell you what mine was. Like, okay, she's attractive. She writes really well. She speaks really good. What's the problem? How crazy is she? That's the first question that almost 98% of men that's single is going to say. How crazy is she? Not is she crazy? How crazy is she?
I should have wore some pearls so I could clutch them right now.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Exactly. Cassie Smith, right there in the chat over on Facebook. The first question is going to be, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her, or how crazy is she? I think that's like 1A and 1B.
I really should have bought some pearls because I could be clutching them right now. What? How crazy is she?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Cassie, how are you?
That's going to be the first question. So I said that I was not going to I wasn't going to judge or be critical of that early on without meeting her and talking with her. And within 15 minutes of seeing her and speaking with her, you can tell, and it's difficult, but I've gotten better at it. You can tell that she's not somebody that is going to be a chameleon just to try to lure you in, because that's what guys are also afraid of as well. Mm-hmm. How much of a front can you put on temporarily to get what you desire before it flips on you? In my opinion, when I first met you, I didn't get that, oh, this is a comedian. I got to, hey, this person is genuinely who she portrays online, which is rare because I think there's two types of people that put an online persona. You can be your authentic self and be online, or if you're building a brand, you exaggerate yourself times 10 to be interesting for the people that want to follow you. And for what I got from you, I'm like, oh, this is how she is.
You know, what you see is what you get. The presence that you see of me online, in all of my writing, like that's who I am. I'm squirrel moment in my writing. Like I would have my best friend read through my writing because I felt in my head as I was reading it, I was doing squirrel moment. I do that in real life. Like everything about me. Look, the ADHD is real, y'all. It really is there.
And Cassie wrote up here, crazy, married to Jesus or something along those lines is what I've heard from men. That's
so true. I laugh because it's so true. Yes. That's why I'm laughing. Yes, that is so true. I've gotten that before. Like it's so funny how the world works. Like you see someone who is 35, educated. Well, even if you don't know they're educated, but you know at least the part that she has never been married and she has no kids, and it's just like, okay, you are in a relationship with someone. It could be your craziness, it could be Jesus, but it's someone. There is someone present. It's just a matter of who is that particular someone. And for me, of course I'm going to say it wasn't nobody. Like I was strengthening my relationship with God, but other than that, I don't think I'm crazy.
So the final thing to kind of add on to that before we go into your view of my situation and how I came into the picture was that also the religious factor. Look, her website is God Happened to Me. She also is a minister. There were a lot of things wrapped up in that made me go, okay. Well, let me put it out on Front Street that yes, I think you're attractive. Yes, I'm not dating. Yes, even if I were to date, I don't know if I'm going to have the title of husband ever again. So let's pause on that and let's flip the script and present myself to you from your perspective. I came into it as a guy that was married for 14 years and divorced for a couple of years at the point that you and I got to know each other. So walk us through your thoughts on just, meeting a man that had been married before, who was also a father of a teenage kid, who, by the way, look, we're going to be hot today, has had a vasectomy and didn't want any more kids, who had read in the past her desire to be married and a mom. So let's talk about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back a bit.
Bring it back.
I remember earlier last year. So I met King August 6th. I remember earlier in the year having a conversation with my therapist, and flat out saying to my therapist that I didn't want to date a man with kids. Yes, I know I was 35 years old, never married, no kids, saying I did not want to date a man with kids or a man who had been married, because my mindset was that my husband, I was going to be his first wife, first and only. Let me specify. I was going to be a first and only wife. That is where I was with that mentality. And my therapist is the white man. So I'm a black woman with a white male therapist. But I like him. Like I rock with him. He's good. I remember him kind of flat out saying, because he's your age, I believe. So he's 2 years older than me, and he's married. He has kids, and he's an excellent man. And I remember him flat out saying, well, politely, therapist-y, saying,
therapist, y'all like that.
We finna make that a verb today. Therapist-y saying that was unrealistic. Like, Michelle, you cannot expect that. You cannot expect at your age to get with someone who has never been married before or who has no kids. Maybe the never been married part, but the no kids part, I was really pushing it with that. And I really had to come to grips with that, because he also further added, because he knows that I'm a woman of faith, he added that I could be blocking God's blessing for my life by doing that. And I remember, and I kind of made that exact same face. I was like, all right. I called my therapist Seth Rogen. That's not his real name, but that's what I call him, because to me, he sounds like Seth Rogen. So I remember thinking, okay, all right, let me just meditate on what Seth Rogen has said. There could be some truth, some validity to his statement. But the truth is, like, there was a very, very sound and logical reason as to why I never wanted to date someone who had been married before, and never wanted to date someone who had a kid. And it's because I never wanted to deal with, and even though I don't like this term, I'm going to say it this way, I never wanted to deal with a crazy baby mama. Like, that was my thing. I had been blessed in the past that of the 3 men I dated who had children, like sincerely, kind of pursue something with.
I was gonna say, like, past 6 months.
No, not 6 months before I met you, but like
no, like your relationship with them had been longer than 6 months.
One of them had been longer than 6 months. One of them was kind of a situationship, and I ended it because he had kids. And I ended up telling him that years later. And then the third one, I mean, we were kind of off and on for a while.
Okay.
But they all had kids. And the main reason I never wanted to date anyone with kids is because one of the guys, the one who it was definitely longer than 6 months, his child, when we were dating, his child was 2 years old or something, and I fell in love with his kid. I remember, he was a single dad, and there was one time that I had spent the night, we still in tea today. There was one time that I had spent the night, and it was his weekend with the son, and we were just kind of all in bed together, and the son called me mom, or mommy, some rendition of that word. And I just remember thinking, oh, at the time I was just oh, that's so sweet. But then when he and I ended, I remember thinking, oh no, I will say this about myself. You can dispute it if it's not true, but I feel like I have a really big heart, and I love heavy. And for me, I didn't want to get emotionally attached to a man and his child and then something not work out, because that would break my heart. It would literally devastate me and completely break my heart if it didn't work out. Because even me with that particular guy, when we didn't work out, it was hard for me. It was really, really hard for me, because I genuinely liked the guy, but also I genuinely liked his child. And one of the other 2 guys that I dated with kids, it's specifically for the ones whose kids I knew, it really broke my heart, because I don't know how to not love someone. If I love you, I love you. There's no going back. Even if we don't work out or anything like that, if I get to the point where I can say I love you, or I can feel that in my heart about someone, there's no going back. So I was always afraid that if I dated someone with kids, I was going to fall deeply for him and fall deeply for the kid. And then if something didn't work out, then I'm left with not one broken heart, but 2 broken hearts within me. Yeah.
Oh, we different on that.
Oh, I know we are.
We different on that.
We different on a lot of things.
Hey, people that know me know if I was with somebody and let's say it didn't work out and they had kids. Hey y'all, it's been real. I'm not coming back around like that. I ain't showing up to Timmy's soccer games. I'm not showing up to Sarah's baseball games. I ain't doing it. I was doing it while in the relationship, but out of the relationship,
And see, for me, like, it's so weird because I have a really bad memory, except for when I don't. So, like, that one particular child that I was just talking about, his birthday is the same day as my best friend's birthday. So I remember his birthday every year, and every year I'm just like, oh. And then he's like the same age as my two youngest nieces. So every year, like, I distinctly remember the child's birthday and how old he's going to be. And then the father, his birthday is also in that same month. So I remember these things, and I'm just like, oh, you know. So for me, that's where I was coming from. And then as far as the marriage part, that was just like a little selfish thing. Like, I just wanted to be the first and only wife. But again, those are things that you can demand at 25, but you can't demand them and like sincerely expect them at 37, because that's where I'm about to be. You can't really expect that at 37. Like,
why?
that's because men who are straight, they done been around the block a time or two by the time you get to them at your age of 37. And the odds of finding a man who is single, like legitimately single, never been married, not engaged to someone secretly, not having some kind of polyamorous or polygamous relationship, whatever. Like, the odds of you finding someone who is also straight, like likes you and your entire gender at this age, who actually wants to get married and have kids, is slim to none. The dating pool sucks in your 30s, but to start dwindling down on those things, you're getting to slim to none. Not impossible, because with God, nothing is impossible, but it's extremely, extremely, extremely rare.
So our demographic is typically people ages 30 and up. But if you are a lady younger than 30, heed what she just said. Play around in your 20s if you want to.
Play around if you want to. You're going to mess around to find out, for real.
But
Like,
you will grow up and find out. Absolutely.
and so that, coming back to that, that is something that I did in my 20s. I was very focused on being the first person in my family to have a master's degree, not knowing what a single thing to do with that master's degree, but I wanted to be the first one in my family to do that. I still drank. I didn't party heavily. Like, I need y'all to understand, my heavy party days ended when I got that college degree. After that, I did mature partying. So, okay, yes, I'll go out here and there, but it wasn't all of that. I remember when I was like 25, 26, I lost my job and I partied hard for like a good year.
How you gonna lose your job and party? On what income? My bad. Continue.
When you're a girl, you don't necessarily have to pay for everything.
I forget this sometimes. Yes.
So yeah, like, all I had to do was show up. And it's not so much
Yeah.
that other people were buying my drinks, but like, I used to go to Power Plant Live in Baltimore, and you could host a happy hour, and you as the host would get free stuff if X amount of people showed up.
Mhm.
So all I would do was go on Facebook, be like, yo, I'm having a happy hour at this particular day and time, pull up, say my name at the door, a certain amount of people come in, I get free
Oh,
stuff.
that's dope.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. So like, I didn't need to have money to party. I just needed to get other people who had money to show up and be
Word.
ready to party.
Yeah.
I know how to work the system.
Nice.
Ooh, sorry, I shouldn't say that on here. I do everything legally and by the book, and I always have. But yeah, so like that was my thing. Like, I did not use my 20s wisely, and then towards the end of my 20s, I did start dating someone, and amazing guy, but I still wasn't in the mindset at that time. Like, we even started living together. I still wasn't in the mindset at that time to like really be committed. And he was 3 years younger than me. So even if when I did hit the time where I was ready, he was still 3 years younger than me. So he wasn't ready at that time.
So, were there any events ever in the past that could have potentially led to a marriage? Like, because you were seeking a marriage. So, were you ever engaged?
Yes, I was engaged before, and aside from the guy that I was dating, that I lived with, aside from him, I'm glad that other engagement didn't work out.
Not all engagements do lead to a marriage, but like you don't have to go into the details, but why didn't that one?
So the first time, again, I love my exes. I have no beef with my exes. Um, so this particular ex, the reason why that didn't work out, like that was earlier in my 20s. The reason why that didn't work out is because he's gay, like legitimately gay, like cheated on me with the guy that I went to high school with. So yeah, no complaints here that that didn't work out. And I don't remember what the catalyst was of our breakup, but it didn't work out. Like it just I think it was one of those situations where like he was trying to, a part of him knew that like he just couldn't. But
Mm.
the funny thing is, the funny thing is, he and I broke up. He started dating another woman. Um, and this isn't funny as in like haha, but like he started dating another woman. She got pregnant, and for whatever reason, I guess the same Holy Spirit that told me like, child, like this ain't gonna work, told her the same thing, and she ended up uh what is that,
Calling it off.
terminating the pregnancy.
Okay.
She ended up getting pregnant, and she ended up terminating that pregnancy with him. And it's so funny because his family came back to me, was like, see, if that had been you, Michelle, I know you wouldn't have terminated it. And I was like, well, of course I wouldn't have, but it wasn't me. So we praise God and we just move on. But the second guy, the reason why that didn't work out, it was, I don't know. Like, he is an amazing man. He is currently in a the second engagement. He's currently in a relationship with this woman who is absolutely beautiful, and they have two kids together. And he's doing so much better for himself in his life. And not to say that he was in a bad place before, but to say that like he's doing so much better with himself now. I look at that and I'm just like, I was a great stepping stone for him, but I don't think I had the patience to wait for him to get his life together where it is now.
What? What does that mean?
What that means is, oh, how do I put this nicely? Because I'm trying to be nice. Because like I said, I'm so like friends with him. I still get along with him.
Is that the one who I talked to?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
he's like an amazing man. Like he legit is. He truly is. What that means is there were still some things that he wasn't ready for. Like at the time that we were together, he wasn't ready to be a father. He wasn't ready. He had never like really been in a relationship where it was just like him and the girl. Plus he still had some growing to do. He
okay,
still had
well,
some maturing to do.
but did he push trying to be a dad on you? Did he push anything?
Mm-mm.
So why couldn't
But
you
I
be
was
patient?
but I was older. I was 3. In my mind, I was like, I was 30. I was like, I want to have kids.
Okay. Yeah. She said it'd be like that. I believe she was commenting on not having patience
Oh.
to wait for somebody to grow into themselves.
But so like I don't, again, I will always, it doesn't matter who I'm talking about, any of my exes that I'm talking about, I will always take the blame for our relationship. Even for our relationship ending. Even if there was something like the one guy, like he clearly cheated on me. That I'm not going to take the blame for. But I'll always take the blame. So I'll say it was me. Whatever happened with me and that, that one ex that you talked to, whatever happened, I'm going to take the blame for it. I'm going to say publicly that it was on me. It wasn't on him. That's just who I am. I'll eat that. So I was like, I don't know what he told you as far as why we broke up, but I'm saying from my point of view, I feel like I didn't have patience then.
Okay, so what she's talking about is this. I've had this saying, and I stick by this 100%. Somebody's past is their past, right? But if they were in a relationship for whatever reason, whatever length, and that didn't work out, if you kind of want to get an idea of how that person might be in a relationship, talk with an ex. I did that. As a matter of fact, I think guys can be okay with doing that depending on the circumstances. So me and this person who she's talking about, we had a conversation. Shout out to him. He know who he is. And he revealed some information on some things that 90% of it I knew, 5% of it was interesting, and the other 5% was something, it was like curiosity type stuff that goes, well, you know what, that checks. So I told him, like, hey, this is straight up guy conversation. Michelle
I
will,
don't know. Neither one of them will tell me what they talked about.
nope, and I have hid the conversation completely. Like, she's not the type, oh, I'm gonna go in and log in and figure out what was said. But just in case, I have archived the conversation, saved it, put it in folder within folder within folder, just in case.
Let me tell you,
she got curious, but it was interesting. So I stand by that. I say, hey, if you want to know how somebody is in a relationship, talk to an ex. Like, if they're willing to have a conversation with you, then go out, grab a beer if you drink adult beverages, and just talk. But again, you can't hold that person to how things were between y'all, because every relationship dynamic's different. Yet I still believe that there's some insight that you can kind of gain as to what you might be walking into. So I did that, and it was interesting.
I will say this, and you know this, so it's not a surprise. When he and I were together, kind of like midway, a little bit more than midway through our relationship, I went through a really, really bad bout of depression. So when I tell you this man, he was and I'm sure he probably still is, a great man. Like, really, really was. I went through a bad bout of depression, and I was sitting in a really, really dark place for probably about like 7 months. Um, the well, 7 to 8 months. The first 2 months I didn't really know, but then like the latter portions of the months I did know. I was in a really, really bad place, and I think I took too much out against him. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I took too much out on him, and I think my patience started waning at that point. Not a knock on him, a knock on me and where I was mentally and emotionally at that point. You talk to him, you know he's a good dude. Like, he is legitimately a good dude. And where he is right now in his life, I don't think that if we had remained together, especially with the way I was back then mentally, I don't think he would be where he is right now if we had stayed together.
Let me ask you this then. So I shared that in my marriage, I had been depressed and I didn't have help at the time, or I didn't seek help, seek counseling and therapy for my own self, like I've gone through now, like I still have from time to time. Like, now I'm more of it's a tune up kind of situation.
Yeah.
I go kind of as needed.
Mhm.
But what do, just out of curiosity, because like you're older now, do you think that with that past relationship, if you would have had that tune up or had that help then, that y'all could have sustained that?
We probably could have, yeah. Because, like I said, like, he didn't have flaws that would cause you to leave, right? Like, he was a good guy. And that's why I wish him so much love, peace, happiness, whatever word you want to say. That's why I wish him well with his current relationship. And that's why I'm sitting there looking like, you done had 2 kids with her. When I know you want to marry her, but I feel like I kind of scarred him a little bit.
Hey, guys aren't interested in getting married anymore. So speaking of which, we're together. We are a couple. I'm gonna say, from my instance, like, marriage might not be the end goal. I've said this to you very publicly. Mm-hmm. Like, we've talked about it on here, maybe in one of the episodes,
and we talked about it off camera.
And her and I talked about it. Like, how does that? I'm going to ask you, because I've asked you this very plainly and very bluntly. For real, how does that make you feel?
It doesn't. So years ago, it would have made me feel this type of way. Like, but it doesn't make me feel that way now because I look at reality of things. My parents were married, and hence the were in that statement. Like, they stayed married for all of 3 years, like happily married for all of 3 years before they went through a divorce. Like, my parents married when I was 2, divorced. I'm sorry, separated when I was 4, divorced when I was 7. Oh no, wait, that's 2 years. My bad. So it doesn't. I don't think marriage is the thing that you use to determine whether your relationship is going to last and stand the test of time. I don't think you can use that anymore as a barometer, if that's the word. I don't think you can use it as a barometer anymore. Maybe at one time, one point in history, but not now. You come from a divorced household. Like, I'm sorry, I don't feel like marriage, I don't think that signing on the dotted line means that you're going to be together forever. I look at the relationships in my family. My mom is divorced. My eldest sister, I mean, she's still legally married, but I don't know what she, that's a whole nother subject. My eldest brother has been divorced and he's currently on his second marriage. My next sister was married and she's divorced. My other brother, my mom's children, my other brother, he never married and ended up getting deported because of his shenanigans. And then I look at my brother on my dad's side, and they're approaching, this is, so they're approaching what, 22, 21, 22 years of marriage. So it all depends. Like, I don't think marriage means that you're going to be together forever. I think that there are definitely people who have been together for their entire lifetime and they just never got married. So for me, I don't look at it that way anymore. Like, I know what the Bible says. I know what it says, but I will say that for me, I don't see that as meaning if we get married, he's gonna stay forever.
All right, but then let me ask you this: 20 years go down the line, you and I are still rocking together. We strong. We solid. You know, we
Yes.
solid. Yet you don't have the title wife. There's been outside pressure outside of us over that 20 years. You don't think that that's gonna make you feel some type of way, especially when you've written in the past about your desire to
I'll
have
be,
been married?
and I've told you this before. Like, I think I joked about it, but I'm gonna say it here.
Okay.
The only thing that I don't want, and I hate to go there, but like, this is me as a person. The only thing that I don't want is for, God forbid, something to happen to one of us, and we looking through the obituary, and the other person is listed as our special friend. Like that.
It's funny every
funny,
time you
but
say it.
like that's my thing. Like, I want somebody to be flipping through and be like, a special friend. Like, bro, that I don't want. I don't
Yeah.
want that. But
Hmm.
other than that,
Let me do.
people can't get me to do. I am not the type of person where if you say, Michelle, do this, I'm going to do it. A matter of fact, if you say, Michelle, do this, I am going to almost, practically injure myself, hurt myself to do the opposite of whatever someone tells me to do. Because
Yeah.
that's just me. I do not do what I am told. I do not like being told what to do. Maybe it's because I'm the youngest child. Maybe it's because even though I'm the youngest child, it's such a big age gap between me and my siblings that I was kind of raised like the only child. But I do not like being told what to do. That's the quickest way to get me to do something totally different if you tell me what to do.
Let me do a quick PSA because we have some new viewers.
Yeah.
So we're live right now. The quality right now of the video isn't going to be good because of the internet right now. We apologize for that. The audio should be fine, and we're hoping to get this cleared up in the future. So if this is your first time watching either live or on the replay, we're going to get it fixed. Bear with me as I work out the technical details. All right.
But in the meantime, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so that you can catch us when we come back with better quality.
This just popped up. Okay, there it is. Cassie Smith on Facebook said, I agree, Michelle. Gonna be that meme special friend.
I don't want that. Like, when I tell you I don't want that, like, that of all the things in this world, like, I do not want that. I do not want to. Because when you see this a special friend, and I can't right now. My southern drawl is not working, but oh snap! Oh, Hey, what up, Pat? How you doing? Oh, welcome to the show.
It's always dope when people that we know catch the show. Cassie Smith is my ex-wife. That is my ex-wife. Her and I grew up together. Michelle and Cassie do know each other.
Oh, Cassie, you gotta go read that book. Like, I think I texted you, but that book is a good book. Like, I'm gonna talk to my students about that book, so you'll enjoy it.
I ain't gonna front though. At first, I'm kind of like, no. Cassie know all my old secrets. No. But folks that know me also know that, too. Okay, when I came into this relationship, there were things that I harassed you on. Not even say harassed you on. There were things that I may have asked more than 3 or 4 times. Are you comfortable with this? The possibly marriage thing was one of them.
Mm-hmm. The kids thing was another.
The kids thing was the second one. I've had a vasectomy. Snip. Can't have anymore. I thought it was interesting because even in your mid-30s, some people still don't know about vasectomies because you had asked me.
I had to learn. Yeah. Like, look, Google and I, we were BFFs when he told me that he had a vasectomy because I wanted to know everything that there was to know about a vasectomy.
And she was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Look, if a pregnancy would have happened, it ain't by me." It would not have been by me. I don't have the super sperm to make this go through, as I had my vasectomy around 2016, 2017. Okay. So there's a window right after you have one that if you don't clear the chamber, so to speak, you can still get someone pregnant. Chamber being cleared at this point. So
I get that. But so you asked about the children's thing.
And several times.
I just said children's. Sorry, the children thing. You asked about that several times. I am a teacher. I am a high school teacher. I have always loved kids. And again, this comes back to me being the youngest child and me being so far apart in age range from my sibs. But I thought I wanted kids. The reality is babies are really, really cute. Like, they're absolutely adorable.
It was 2017.
2017.
Thank you.
I've always joked with my siblings, when they had kids, like, look, I got you until that kid turned 2. Like, when that kid start talking, Auntie Shell out the picture. Like, got Mommy Shell, she out the picture. There's a reason why I teach high school and not elementary or middle, because there's a certain level of child that is not necessarily for me to be around. So for me, I'm fine with that. I have kids. I have 200 kids. I have one former student. Oh, she's a former student now. I told her, I was like, her mom is not in her life. And I was like, I'll be a mom to you. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm at peace with there not being anything in my womb. I'm at peace with that because, anything tangible, because I have so many. It's not that I don't have children to love on. It's not that I don't have someone to pass that love to. And it's not that I don't love your child. Obviously, I'm not stepping in the way of her mom, but I do love your daughter. So I'm fine. I'm at peace with it. Like, I've made my amends with it. I'm good.
Okay. And so those were the two things that I probably asked you more than 3 times total, like with each one. So 6 times between the marriage thing and not having kids thing. Because for me, I'm gonna tell y'all the same way that I told her. It was important for me that I can look at her and I'll say that she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's smart, and she brings value. I don't feel like that she's taking from me to where I'm like, I don't have much to give at the end of the day. No, she pours into me and it allows me to be able to pour back into her. So, and she showed that early on. So I wasn't concerned about why she's here. I don't know of another way to say that. That wasn't a concern of mine. What I did have a concern about is if you were to pour into me and me still pour into you, you provide value to me, I provide value to you. you. We have a great relationship going forward. What would have devastated me is to go 20 years and then I hear out of her mouth, and she expresses to me because she's still hot with me, that she regrets going a different route and not being able to be a mother or not be a wife. And let me clear something up for everybody out here. I'm not saying I will never remarry. I am saying the probability of me remarrying is very, 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 very.
You see that space in between my nails?
Very.
That's the problem. Yeah, right there.
Very slim.
Mm-hmm.
Very slim. So it's not it ain't happening. It's I mean, look, and I'm a logical person. I can acknowledge that there are some things that even I look at and go, well, you know what? If I'm good with her, she's good with me, and we decide to rock this thing through, there's some benefits and there's pros and cons to actually not doing it and doing it, that I'm kind of like, well, practically we could make this thing work if we did this, and then there you got all of that stuff, because it's incentivized for a lot of different reasons, which we won't go into today. But it is incentivized. There's also other benefits that we can share between each other that would make it a lot more, I don't know of another way to say this, but convenient. Like, we're gonna have to go through a power of attorney type situation for like healthcare type of decisions. There are things that if she goes to the hospital for, I by default won't have access to because I am not husband. Mm-hmm. We understand that. We've talked about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've been through all of this. So understand that when we come here and we do these lives, like, we've had in-depth conversations before, because that's who he is as a person. That's who I am as a person. We've had these conversations. They're not new to either one of us. What did Cassie say?
She said, we are a big old family and that she is invited to my family's cookouts.
Oh, y'all gonna have vegan food though. Hey. It's a real. Thank
you. She also said, Michelle, I have zoomed in on that emoji and found a space in it. Hey, don't you be encouraging. Don't you be encouraging. No. Hey, what's up, Pete? Hey, Pete, I'm gonna have to give you a call either later today or tomorrow. I have the camera. I have your address. I'm going to mail it out to you. But once I get the FedEx number, I'll let you know, and I'll get that out to you, man. Okay. And let's see. He said one more thing. Do you want a chef? Who? Her? She's taken.
I am taken. Happily taken. Thank you.
And he said, all right, cool. Okay. Let's see, where are we at timing wise?
We're at like 7:50.
Yo, okay. Well, we wasted a couple of minutes at the beginning working on the technical stuff, which hopefully we can have fixed by next Monday.
So here's the real. Let's boil down the point, right? Number one, if you are a woman of a certain age, understand that your dating pool has shrunk, okay? Men are dating younger than them. So if you are of a certain age, you have to be willing to make some concessions if you want to still remain active in the dating market, okay?
And find a quality person. Because look, if you're looking for trash, that ain't hard to find.
It ain't hard to find. It ain't hard to
find. Trash ain't hard to reach out and touch.
You can walk down the street and see trash any day, but can you find something of quality? No. So that is something that you're going to have to start. You're going to have to make some concessions on. And I'm not saying that you need to lower your standards.
No.
I would never, ever tell someone that they need to lower their standards.
Same.
What I'm saying is you can't sit here after a certain age and say, I will not date a man who does not have kids, because you legitimately can be ruling out some of the best people in the world.
That made me feel good.
Oh, did it make your heart smile?
It did. Hearts don't smile.
Smile.
Hearts do not smile. They beat, they pump blood, they don't smile. Goodness gracious. For me, what I'll add to that and kind of throw in there as well, have these type of conversations. So this
Yeah.
isn't her and I's first time talking about it. There might have been some first reveals or maybe some new nuggets to kind of chew on a bit, maybe. I'm pretty sure that there's nothing new that you gleaned from this conversation.
Yeah, because we
But
share everything.
but yet I still think that these conversations are good to attack and conversate, especially since what we are looking at doing is building together, right? How do you do that? Where you talk about the finances, you talk about decision making, you talk about roles and responsibilities. And then the other part of that is you have to hold up your end of the bargain. I can say in my 20s, I wasn't good at holding up my end on the bargain on, I wouldn't say a lot, all right? But key things I didn't hold up my end of the bargain on. I know this being older and have lived through that part of my life. So now I look at things a little bit different as somebody that has gotten the therapy that I needed to get my mind state right. And then talking to other men, other people about relationship dynamics and things like that. I have the stuff that I think and go, okay, look, for me, I can hold up my end of the bargain and be happy about that at the end of the day. If Cheryl chooses to rock with that, great. If she doesn't, I always say this train is going this way. Either hop along for the ride or hop off and go to a different destination. But I don't have any doubts about her, but I like having these conversations to just kind of check in from time to time so that we can be sure of each other's thoughts and concerns about pretty big relationship dynamic stuff.
So there's something you said in that I also want to highlight, especially as we're giving dating advice, dating tips. You mentioned talking to other people, and I think that's so big. Um, I know that oftentimes married couples will hang out with married couples, and single people will hang out with single people. But if you desire marriage, you do need to have conversations with people who are married. And honestly, I think once you have conversations with once a single person, and when I say single, I mean legally single. It doesn't matter if you're dating someone or not. But I think if you have conversations as a single person with married people, like together, not independently, but like you have conversations with married people, you will be able to better understand what is a necessity in a relationship, what is a desire, and what is just a big fat dream, like pipe dream. You will be able to better understand these things and be able to move accordingly because you'll see that there are things that matter, like what you just talked about, like finances. What are roles and responsibilities? Sometimes couples get together and people get together as a couple and they don't think about these things. They don't
Mhm.
talk about these things. And then they get married and it's just like, well, I thought you were going to do this. Well, I thought you were going to do this. And y'all never had that conversation. And I think that that's something that's important. You need to be able to have those conversations with married people and not be afraid to receive the advice that they have to offer. Because if you're talking to a couple that's been married for 20 plus years, that's 2 decades, y'all, of being with somebody. And there's a lot that you can glean from that relationship if you just talk to someone who's wiser than you. And as a society, we don't often tend to do that. We don't tend to converse with people who are wiser than us because Google knows everything.
Yes, and let me throw on one kind of additive to that. Definitely do that. I encourage that. I would encourage it to do it where it's like you and the other guy or the lady and the other wife, and just be like, all right, be real with me. Like, what's the 411 on making something work like long term? Because I can't speak for y'all. I can speak for myself. I can't think of a lot of people that have gone past 20. I don't have a lot of examples. Less than, I mean, I'm almost 40 something myself, But in thinking about
39.
older generations, that's almost 40. In thinking about older generations or people that might have gotten together and gotten married at the same time that I did, or not even married. Let's just say long-term monogamous relationship that are still rocking with each other. Less than 10 for sure. Probably even less than 5 out of people that I grew up knowing or currently know now that have had the opportunity to make it that long. So I can tell you for me, it's easy. I ain't gonna say it's easy. Not going long is easy, but having the ability to get there, I don't see what's so hard about it if I'm doing what I'm doing and you're doing what you're doing. I get that there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into that, but on the surface, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard. I think people grow up and change, and that's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
And then how do you, the other person, reconcile with the growth that has occurred in somebody else? Can you grow and accept that person that has grown, and then can that other person also still have love for you if you've grown and they haven't? Like, I think that there can be some dynamics in that we'll probably have to have another episode on, but for the most part,
and I think honestly, I think that's what happened with my ex. Like, I knew I had the potential to grow exponentially. And it's not that he didn't have the potential to grow. We just weren't going to grow at the same rate. So I think that's where my lack of patience came in. But I feel like there's a really good comment from Cassie on the screen.
Hearts don't smile. Cassie said, "Hearts smile when Kelsa warms your heart." Kelsa's my daughter. That is my ace. I love her to death.
That is a true.
She doesn't make my heart smile.
I feel she makes my heart
smile.
Where Castle should be in here
what
to
did
just
say?
Jump in and say, yes, it does.
First of all, Pete, this is a handsome almost 39. Even though he said 30, you must mean 70. Hey, even though my ankle probably felt like 70 the other day when I fell, we should put that video on this channel.
Oh my god.
We should put that on this channel.
Oh, let me tell y'all. So all his socials are open, right? Cassie, can you ask Castle to come downstairs?
She's not here.
Oh, she's not here?
I'll tell you after.
Oh, okay.
That's what I had to tell you after.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. I thought you were about to be like, jump in because hearts do smile.
Can you plug in the laptop?
Where? Plug it in with what?
The pluggy cord.
Which pluggy cord?
This pluggy cord.
Okay. He was on the phone with his dad the other. Where does the plug in? He was on the phone with his dad the other day.
On the back end. Oh no, it is this end. My bad. Over there.
He was on the phone with his dad. Where?
Right there.
Here.
Yes, ma'am.
In this. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Find the hole. Giggity. Giggity. Go towards the back. I got it.
No, I can do it, but you gotta tell the story.
Towards the back. So the video that we're gonna upload on the King and Me show later tonight. I was on the phone talking to my dad right there.
Right where? I was just there.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're good. We're good.
Put it in the hole, Michelle. I have a childlike humor. But we're going to end on this. I was talking to my dad and was walking out the door and ended up having a weak ankled experience stepping off of a step. I took 3 steps and I fell fast. I'm talking like dropped. Boom. And I shared the video on my social media, like my personal social media, so not the King and Me show. And it went like viral. It went like viral. Like viral adjacent. Viral-esque. But it started to kind of gauge it. Look, it's hilarious. I can laugh at myself. It is what it is. But
now that I know he's okay and his ankle is recovered,
yeah,
I feel better and I can laugh.
My ankle just straight gave out on me. Pete said, "It's not my fault. You forgot your walker." Hey man, almost. I was almost having to have a cane. I'm telling you,
my favorite part of the video, he was like, "Talk on it."
I'm laying on the ground, face down. See, it gets funnier the more you see it and the more you think about
The
it.
more time you watch that video, the funnier it gets. Because he's walking down the street. He's walking down the stairs on the phone with his dad. Misses the last step, falls, and he just lays there for a second, and he's like, "Doggone it."
So we'll have that video up. It's definitely a good laugh, and I can laugh at myself as well. But I think we shared some stuff in here that hopefully can bring value to others that listen to it. If you have some thoughts about this topic in particular, or things that we might have missed that you're like, ooh, I would have liked to hear more about that, put it in the comment section. Reread the comments as we're trying to grow this page and things like that. So, anything else to hit on that we probably didn't cover?
Do not limit yourself in the dating field. Don't lower your standards, but don't limit yourself. You never know what kind of lesson you could be missing out. I am very grateful for my therapist. Again, I call him Seth Rogen. He's not Seth Rogen, but I'm very grateful for my therapist who said that I should not limit myself like that. Because if I had kept that same mentality, then when our mutual friend was attempting to introduce us, I wouldn't have received it. And it has been an amazing year with King. I have loved every single moment of learning and growing. There are ways that you love me, King, that no one has ever loved me like that before. And you show your love in so many different ways, including using, I love you, but just the way that you express your love. I never would have experienced that if it hadn't been for you. There are things I never would have learned. There are journeys that I would not have taken, or chances that I would not have taken in the last year had I not known you. So I'm grateful for you.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what to do with that, but I receive it.
Is your heart smile?
My heart does not smile.
Your heart smiles.
I also don't miss people, FYI.
Oh, here we go.
So that's a whole other topic. But hey, that is our live stream for today. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Be tuned in to The King and Me on Facebook and The King and Me Show on YouTube as we upload things that may not be part of the live stream, but we upload to share as Michelle and I learn and grow with each other. Now to the best part.
Oh, wait. I'm not allowed to sing, but y'all, his birthday is on Friday. He will be 39 on Friday.
No.
Birthday
Wait.
to you.
Wait.
Happy birthday.
Do it on Friday.
But we're not going to be live on Friday.
We don't have to be live on Friday. You can still do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
She did all of that with me. See, look, we lost a viewer. And I had the controller ability to hit the mute button, and I didn't.
Oh, see, that's love.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.
See ya. Peace.